Running an airline is, no joke, one of the most complex businesses on the planet. Today, we're going to break down the incredible balancing act that determines everything from the price of your ticket to whether your flight even leaves on time. I mean, we've all been there, right? Staring at a screen, watching the prices for a flight just jump all over the place. But the real question is, why did the person sitting right next to you pay a completely different price for the exact same seat? Well, that price isn't just some random number. It's the final piece of a massive, constantly shifting management puzzle, one that has to juggle immense costs, fierce competition, and just mind-boggling logistics. So let's start with the most visible part of this whole puzzle, the money. How do airlines figure out what to charge for every single seat on every single flight? The strategy is called differentiated pricing, and it's not random at all. It is a deliberate, almost scientific method of selling the exact same seat at dozens of different prices, all to maximize every last dollar of revenue. That price is a dynamic calculation, and it's based on a huge number of variables. We're talking about things like the time of day you want to fly, the date you're traveling, how far in advance you book, how full the flight already is, and even what other airlines are charging for that same route. All of it feeds into the final price tag. And this isn't a person sitting there with a spreadsheet. We're talking about incredibly sophisticated IT systems that are constantly crunching data, making thousands of pricing adjustments across an entire network every single day, all to squeeze out the most profit possible. But maximizing revenue is only one side of the scale. To truly understand this balancing act, we need to look at the other side, the absolutely colossal costs of getting a single plane off the ground. For every dollar an airline earns, a huge chunk is immediately eaten up by expenses. The biggest pieces of the pie are fuel and labor, the pilots, crew, and ground staff. But you also have massive costs for the aircraft themselves, constant maintenance, airport fees, catering, and those complex IT systems that run everything. It's a relentless financial pressure. And here's a layer that a lot of people don't think about. A chunk of your ticket price isn't even for the airline. They're required to collect and pass on various government taxes and security fees, which just adds another level of complexity to their financial operations. But this system isn't just about money and machines. The next critical piece of the puzzle is the vast network of people and partners that makes it all work. Your single flight relies on the perfectly coordinated effort of many different teams. You've got the flight crew in the air, the ground crew handling the plane, the operations staff managing schedules, and customer service at the gate. If any one link in this chain breaks, the whole system is affected. Safety and punctuality depend on every single one of those people doing their job perfectly. Ever wondered how an airline can sell you a ticket to a city they don't actually fly to? Well, the answer is a clever partnership called code sharing. It allows them to sell a seat on a partner's plane, dramatically expanding their global network without having to buy a single new aircraft. And this is really the power of teamwork on a global scale. A single airline has a limited network, but by joining a global alliance, they can offer coordinated schedules, shared frequent flyer benefits, and a pretty seamless travel experience to nearly anywhere in the world. So, how do airlines manage all these moving parts? The pricing, the costs, the people, the partners. It all fits into a grand, multi-layered strategic plan. You can think of their decision-making on 3 different levels. First, there's the long-term strategic level. These are the big picture decisions, like which new planes to buy. Those decisions then inform the medium-term planning, like creating flight schedules for the next season. And all of that dictates the short-term operational choices, like how to handle a sudden weather delay right now. Now, the crucial point is that this isn't a one-way street. What happens on a daily operational level, like a consistent delay on a certain route, provides feedback that can change the medium-term schedule and even influence long-term strategic decisions about where to fly. It's a living, breathing system that's always adapting. So airlines have this incredibly complex internal balancing act. But the real challenge is that they don't operate in a vacuum. They have to manage everything we've just discussed while dealing with a host of powerful external forces. An airline is constantly negotiating, with governments over regulations, airports over landing fees, and labor unions over contracts. And they have to do it all while keeping customers happy and fending off competitors. A breakdown with any one of these stakeholders can throw the entire delicate system into chaos. When you think about it, the fact that this system works at all is just astounding. Getting you from point A to point B safely and on time is the result of perfectly balancing revenue, cost, logistics, people, and strategy. It truly is a managed miracle. And that leaves us with a final thought. This system is incredibly complex, but it's also incredibly fragile. As airlines face all these new pressures, from fuel costs to climate regulations, which piece of this intricate puzzle do you think will be the first to break?